Welcome to the first 2024 Capitol Connections update. I'm Will Dubose, the LRA's Senior Director of Government Affairs. First and foremost, I'd like to recognize the LRA advocacy team, which consists of our President and CEO, Stan Harris, myself, as well as our contract team at Pivotal GR Solutions, Chris Coulon, Alicia Duhon, and Cherie Teamer-Henley. Let me quickly walk you through the legislative process of how a bill becomes a law. First, a bill is filed in the House or Senate. After some administrative work in either chamber, a bill will be scheduled for a committee hearing. There are 16 standing committees in the House and 17 in the Senate. Each committee has specific jurisdiction over what types of bills they can hear. For example, workers' comp bills go to Labor, taxes go to Ways and Means in the House, and Revenue and Fiscal Affairs in the Senate. This is the first bite at the apple for legislators and lobbyists alike to amend or attempt to kill legislation. If a bill is reported favorably out of its first committee, it moves to the chamber floor for a vote of the full House or Senate. This is bite number 2, to amend or defeat. If a bill is fortunate enough to receive favorable passage from the floor, it then moves to the other chamber and the process begins again. That bill will then be referred to another committee based on its subject matter and is again subject to amendments. From there, it moves to a floor vote of the full House or Senate, and if that bill passes its second full floor vote, it then goes to the governor's desk for signature or veto. That, my friends, is the Cliff Notes version of how a bill becomes a law. We are now in the second week of the 2024 regular session. Prior to this session, the legislature convened for 2 extraordinary or special sessions. These were exclusively limited to redistricting and addressing crime. The Sunday night before this session convened, the LRA advocacy team hosted around 90 legislators and their spouses at Drago's in Baton Rouge for the annual session kickoff dinner. The event is always well attended and was a great way to gather as friends before convening on Monday. Also in attendance was Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple and Commissioner of ATC Ernest Leger. The first week remained relatively quiet as some committees met for the first time this term with a host of new members in the House and Senate. However, House and Senate leadership is ready to hit the ground running in week 2 and have already scheduled several bills of interest to receive their first committee hearings. House Commerce will meet Monday and Tuesday. In this committee, we are watching 2 bills that deal with surcharges at retail establishments. The bills, which have identical language, seek to cap the amount of surcharges to no more than the cost of processing a transaction. We are monitoring these bills to ensure that surcharges remain available to establishments who choose to use them. Also in Commerce are 2 bills that aim to require establishments to offer a cash payment option for in-person transaction. I have reached out to the authors of these bills, and we intend to oppose them both. It is the LRA's position that businesses should be allowed to choose how they accept payment, and government should not mandate any form of payment option. In Senate Judiciary A, we are opposing Senate Bill 171 by Senator Beth Mizell. This bill lifts the limitation of liability for Class A general permit holders who serve an underage patron and who then operates a motor vehicle and suffers any injury, death, or damages. This is a repeat of a similar bill brought last year that the LRA was instrumental in defeating. I'm your host, Will Dubose, and will be bringing you these weekly Capitol Connections throughout the session.